Sometimes we start writing the book, and then the book starts writing itself to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's to me, I've described it to people who have read it. It's almost like two books. It's like my origin story of how I came to become involved with wrestling and decided to take wrestling to the college level and compete at that level, and then how that transitioned to coaching. And then a great deal of it is how skills that I developed as a wrestler kind of spilled over into my personal life and my professional life, and then of course even into my coaching life. But because I kind of feel like we're coaching our families, like my children have been coached by me in everything. The things that I want them to really learn or that I think are valuable and important. They learn that through sport, but they also learn that through conversation at home, especially around the dinner table.
Right.
So yeah, the book is like two books. The first part is how I got to this point in my mindset, and then how I use that in just everyday life, and how I was inspired by a lot of other people. So you know I wouldn't say that anything in here is just originally Mike Blanchard. It's borrowed and adapted by me, and then taken further. Of course, a huge inspiration for me was Coach Tom Ryan. When I met him, that was a transformative moment in my coaching philosophy and even how I approach just everybody that I deal with from this point forward. So, there are instrumental people that you meet and then you carry forth lessons from them and develop those further. And he was a uh, big source of the inspiration for me. And then, of course, my wife too. When you marry somebody, you blend your household together, and then when you're raising children, you start to form these ideas of how things should be and what your expectations are for how you're trying to develop these people to become independent of you. My dad always said, "You raise them to leave you." My oldest is going to be a freshman next year in college, so we're already starting to move kids out of our home, which is a weird proposition, and it's definitely changing our household. So we're going to be going from three people here to two, and how do they interact and how do they get along, and then also too, can my son do his own laundry? Can he function? Can he, wake himself up in the morning, get to class on time, do his schoolwork, be a productive person? So all those things are skills that you develop through a lifetime of teaching and learning and listening and sitting around that dinner table and hearing these things. So we're starting to see it come to fruition. So it's those kinds of things. It's not just a wrestling book. Wrestling is part of it, but it's also just kind of a life book about things that you learn as you grow. You continue to grow and get better. So